If you've been following me on social media, you know that I've been getting in Batman statue after Batman statue after Batman statue after Batman statue. Some might call me the Batman statue collector. And today we have another one. Queen Studios Dark Knight Metal quarter scale Batman on Throne premium statue. Again, a huge mouthful.
That's what she said.
I mean, I have so many Batman statues nowadays, I think I earned the title the Extreme Batman Statue Collector. You like that, Chris? As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we are giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, welcome to the Extreme channel. My name is Mr. X. If you're new here, then I was taking a little bit of a knock on another large YouTube channel. When I say another large, I don't insinuate I'm large. Well, my YouTube channel isn't. But anyway, as the new Batman statue collector, I cannot wait to share this piece with you guys. It is absolutely crazy. I'm a huge fan of this. Big thanks to Cosmic Chase Collectibles for getting this here. I absolutely love it. This is from the Dark Knight Metal storyline. And this is actually from a cover, a variant cover, right here. This is one of the few I don't own the corresponding comic cover to because I think that cover was just too dark, but eventually I may get it. Because if you recall, I actually owned this one from Queen Studios as well. It's the quarter scale Batman Who Laughs on Throne, which I'm going to put these right next to each other. If you want to see what they look like, check out the Extreme channel social media, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. The link for that is in the description below. Now with that being said, the Dark Knight Metal is a multiverse Batman story where there's Batmans that have merged with Flash and Joker and Green Lantern, and they're all fighting. This is not one who has merged. This is just Batman himself, defeated everybody. He's sitting on the throne. We're going to talk all about this in concept of this review. So, also as a disclaimer, a lot of the other statues I've been getting in, other than that Batman Who Laughs I just showed you, are a different scale. They're actually quite bigger than this. This is only quarter scale, and I would be very much afraid if this was 1/3 scale because it would be huge. So let's talk about the concept of this one. Again, based off of that cover, you have a throne. And allegedly, this is a throne where in the end, he had to kill everybody, I believe. I might be wrong on the storyline here. And he is just the king, the winner of everything, but he had to do some dirty stuff to do it. So there's a lot of stuff going on with this throne. You see a few different weapons. You see a torn cape. You see some panthers on the side, which doesn't really make sense to me. But sure, whatever, let's go with that. And there are skulls and signs of death and very cathedral-like all over this with some ingrained bat symbols and also some stuff that we saw from the Dark Knight Metal comics. And you move up, Batman is sitting there very menacing. A few different switch outs you can look at. We'll talk about those. But he has done what he needs to defeat the enemies in almost an evil way. And keep in mind, those were evil Batmans. And up here, you have this really ornate decorative throne behind him. Not only a lot of that death stuff we're talking about, but some snakes on a pillar, a huge statue of death right behind him. And this statue was offered in a few different options we're going to look at. Just really, really cool. You know, this particular statue, you're not really buying a Batman statue where he's on a throne. You're buying a throne statue that happens to have Batman on it. In my opinion, that's what you're buying with this concept. But it's pretty cool. Like I said, it does have some comic basis. It's almost overpowering, and I don't know in a normal universe if I'd like a Batman on throne concept, but because of the Dark Knight Metal story, I really do. So I think the concept's a very solid 4 out of 5. The big negative of it is, like I said, it's more about the throne than it is Batman. But you may or may not know that I'm a huge throne collector. I have over 20 different throne statues. Here's a countdown I did, with more coming. Design. This is the premium edition, which has a lot of additional display options. We'll talk about that after the unboxing and assembly. 2 very large and heavy boxes for this guy. Standard foam and straps. You also see the COA and some instructions on top that I didn't open up. Lots and lots of pieces. I really didn't expect this many pieces. The first box actually had 3 different layers to it. And then the second box was actually just the base. So huge piece. So quarter scale means it's 4 times smaller than a real life version. The widest point of this is 23 inches. The deepest part is about 18. Now you have some different display options. The tallest point on this, if you display everything, it's about 34.5 inches. However, as I said, there's some options. First, this ring on the back, I'm going to have to remove that so it'll fit where I'm going to display it. It will leave a large keyhole back here, but otherwise the highest point is about 31.5 inches, 31, right in that range where the wings are. That's displayed as is. Let's look at the switch outs because that changes things too. So here you see the actual throne with the Angel of Death behind him. That's the biggest difference. You can display it without the Angel of Death. And this is the regular version, but it also comes with the premium. This one is only 24.5 inches tall, so you save quite a bit of space with that. But that's not the only display options if you bought the premium like I did. So this portrait comes with both the regular and the premium, but the premium also has this additional portrait, and you get a little display stand for whatever portrait you don't have on Batman. All the versions come with this hand where he's like saying, hey, can I get some? But the premium comes with this fist right here. I like both of them. Now, a few other display options. He has a sword up here, as you can see. If you want, you could remove this. It's really up to you. And same thing with this shield right here, because it kind of sets there. It doesn't really connect to anything. So I think it's pretty creative how you're able to switch out the Angel of Death for the other piece. How you're able to display it with or without the Angel of Death. I like that a lot. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but still, it's a cool option to have. Now, if you have the room for it, you definitely want to display the whole thing because it looks incredibly badass. Their engineering was pretty smart on how they did this. While the directions were shit, to be honest with you, it's very, very smart how everything intertwines. I mean, there's so much going on here. So overall for design, I think I give them a 4 out of 5. If it was the regular version only, it would probably be a 3 out of 5, where it's just good. But I think this is definitely above and beyond. Paint and sculpt. You know, Queen Studios came out of the gate with life-size busts. Not originally, but that was kind of what they were known for. But they've been really getting into the quarter scale game here. You know, and I've owned a number of pieces, not just that Batman Who Laughs. I've owned this Thanos Endgame, which I thought was phenomenal, as well as this Wonder Woman. And then actually this week on Saturday, we're doing a live giveaway for this Hulk. But I think they do a great job with paint and sculpt. Maybe not as good as some other companies, but still very, very good. Check it out. As I said, this is more about the throne than Batman, but we'll look at Batman really quick. So, decent paint job, you know, kind of an interesting expression. I mean, the sculpt is good. Don't know if I agree with the direction of this expression, but he looks badass. One thing I really like is they didn't make a black suit, which would have blended in too much with the dark colors. So they made a blue suit, but they didn't make it too vibrant, so it really sticks out. So I think it contrasts well. A little bit of battle damage, which is good. I don't want to see him completely bruised and bleeding. I like the cape, how it's torn up. You can definitely tell he's been through hell and back. Pouches look fantastic on the utility belt. Anatomy is really well done. Kind of a bulkier Batman, but I like that. The sword looks okay. You can definitely tell it's not metal. It's painted resin. And it has a lot of like patina on the hilt here. And same thing with a lot of the stuff we're going to look at. And I think that helps flow the statue of the different colors. So for example, look at the throne. You have the mix of golds and blues, and there's some of those hidden symbols we were talking about. Now the Panthers are statues, so I don't mind the fact that they're sculpted and there's not really fur. They're not supposed to be actual panthers, to my knowledge. If they were, then they look stupid, but I think they're actually supposed to be statues, not real live animals. So I think that looks good. And again, I just really compliment the sculpt and detail that they have everywhere on the throne. You have some skulls there with the chains. I mean, look at the intricate aspects of the shield here. Then even on the back, look at the cathedral, more references to death, and this has kind of that copper tone to it. And then as you move up, look at these skulls. Skulls everywhere, death everywhere, and then another cathedral or church right here that the snakes are wrapping around. So much cool stuff on the back. The dragons. Very heavy piece. See the back of his chair. And then Death himself or herself, the Angel of Death, looks fantastic. So much detail on that, from the black and red on the elongated fingers, the chains around it. Look at the armor, the shoulder pads, the portrait here. Has a bat symbol on it. I think that's a cool nod right there. Look at the snakes. These are snake statues, of course, but still there's some great texture on their skin. The wings look okay. Not a huge fan, but they have to use a light material as not to weigh too much, and I like how there's tears in it. Very old, follows the same flow of the entire throne. Really quick, here's his other portrait. Looks good. Very serious. I think the skin complexion they used is nice. See a nod to Batman there on the Angel of Death, the blades on his arms. And even, you know, you look at his costume outfit, you see the wrinkles, the folds, but you can still see his muscles below it. I like the flow of the cape. Really tons of stuff going on here. Look at the intricate detail on the cathedral or tower on the back. That's pretty cool. So they really went a lot. This is one of those pieces you'd really want a mirror in the back, which I've never done with any of mine. I've always wanted to because there's so many cool Easter eggs. But really impressed how they did this. It's going to be a bitch to move with the weight, I can tell you that now. Here's the spears. Kind of the same comment about the swords. You can tell it's not metal, but I think these look a little bit better than the actual swords. A little more realistic. Some almost like bone teeth coming out at the top of the Angel of Death. I probably will literally look at this for like, I would say hours, but 5 minutes. But fantastic piece. Paint. You know, part of this is execution, part of this is art direction. As we talked about, it's really dark, and I think it needs to be. And I like that they varied Batman up a little bit, but still kept him dark. It looks really good in person. I was a little worried seeing it on camera, but in person, I think it's a solid 4 out of 5 on the paint. Sculpt looks great too. While it's not the best Batman I've seen, I think when you talk about all the intricate designs we looked at within the throne itself, and then Batman looks very good, it's also a strong 4 out of 5 on the sculpt. So let's talk about the value of it. Is this statue worth it? You know, obviously, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I love throne statues. I wanted the perfect Batman throne statue. I think this is it. You know, I've owned another Batman throne statue. This one right here, it's quite an older piece, but still pretty cool, but I like this one a lot better. Other than I like the fallen enemies. You know that about my throne statues if you follow the channel. But they made 500 of the premium, so the one with the additional Angel of Death and all the switch outs, and that retailed, I think, right around 1,800 or so, maybe 1,900. Then the one without the Angel of Death and the switch outs, that one, the regular version, was about $500 cheaper, $500 or $600 cheaper. And I don't know how many of those they made. Now, unfortunately, I live in the United States, so I can't buy directly from Queen Studios. I have to go through a distributor. So I went through Cosmic Chase Collectibles. Big fan of them for Queen Studios, as well as a lot of other pieces. Their website is fantastic. I'm leaving a link in the description below. Check them out. It's not an affiliate link. I don't get a kickback if you click on it or buy something. But I really appreciate them. They are one of the fastest shipping in the industry, without a doubt. But let's talk about the price. I'm over $2,000 all in for this piece with shipping. That's a lot for a quarter scale statue. Granted, there's a ton going on here. Size-wise, it's as big as some 1/3 scale statues. I think it's done well enough to be worth it, but I don't know if I could resell this and make a profit. I say the value is a 3 out of 5, simply for the fact that this costs a lot of money and it's hard to display. But does he have the X factor? Is this a 5 out of 5 statue? You know, I buy a lot of statues when I'm drinking. This was the case here. I bought both this and the Batman Who Laughs at the same time. So I think this is a 4 out of 5. It's not quite 5 out of 5, but it is pretty badass. I am not disappointed at all. Really glad to have this in the collection. Now the question I have for you guys, yeah, I just said you guys. The question I have for you is, do you like this one better or Batman Who Laughs? I think I like this one better, but it might be because it's new. Throw that in the comments below. That could win you a statue. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Queen Studios and especially Cosmic Chase Collectibles. Make sure to check them out, guys. They're a fantastic distributor. In the meantime, hit that like button. It's easy and free. And sub so we can get to that 30,000 sub giveaway. Talk to you soon. Take care.